Hello friends, I am Shubhangi and today I am going to review my most favorite book, The Color Purple by Alice Walker. And as most of you must be knowing that this is a feminist work, and we always talk about feminism, but do we ever think that what is feminism? While we talk about feminism, we see that the girls and the women who are talking about feminism are already given equal rights in society. But do we ever think that what will happen if that girl who doesn't even heard of feminism ever, and who doesn't get equal rights, and who doesn't know that she deserves equal right, what if she asks for feminism and she asks for equality? What will happen? And this book is about that. Our protagonist is Shelley, and the whole book revolves around her and her journey and her character development. And Shelley writes the letters to the god, and through these letters we get to know about her background. And in the first letter itself we get to know that she has an abusive father and she has been molested by her own father, which later as the story proceeds we get to know what's the reality. But as of now, that character is her father who is molesting her, and she has an elder sister Nettie who is 2 years younger than her. And there is a man called Mr. Dash. Throughout the initial stage of the book she is referring to him as Mr. Dash, I don't know why. And that person wants to marry Nettie, but her father actually arranges Shelley to marry him. And because that person is a widower and he has kids, he needs someone to take care of his house and basically do the work of a maid. And after a lot of thinking, he agrees to marry Shelley. And throughout the marriage, it was an abusive marriage, but Shelley accepts her fate and she doesn't revolt for a very long time. Even the children of Mr. Dash never treats her well, and she does everything for everyone, but in return all she gets is just disrespect and molestation. But the twist comes where there is a mistress of Mr. Dash who is referred to as Shug Avery, and she comes to live in the house of Mr. Dash because she is not well. And because she is love of Mr. Dash, he lets her live in his own house. And Shelley, although the relationship of Shelley and Shug Avery is not something which you would ever expect to be friendly, but still Shelley is somehow attracted towards her and she never hates her. She does everything to take care of her. And initially Shug Avery is rude to Shelley, but after some time she starts to treat Shelley well. And when she comes to know that how Mr. Dash has been treating her all these years, she starts to support her like a best friend. And the relationship between both of them is something that you need to read. Like, this is the thing that I like the most about this book, and you will also like the most about this book, that how if a woman supports other women, how easily and how quickly they can grow in their life, and without the support of each other they can't do anything. And there is 4 major characters, all 4 women who are the protagonist of these books. And the 4 most important character of this book is obviously Shelley, then Shug Avery, and then Sophia, and then Nettie. And Sophia is Harpo's wife. Harpo is Mr. Dash's son. And when Shelley sees the relationship of Sophia with her husband Harpo, she gets amazed, because she sees that in the marriage Sophia always demands for equality. And this was a concept which was actually unknown to Shelley, because she never knew that a wife can demand equality from her husband. And when she sees Sophia doing that, she is somehow jealous of her, and she suggests Harpo that he should dominate her and he should beat her. But at the same time she also feels the guilt, because she was always a very good woman. But when Sophia comes to know this, her heart breaks that Shelley is not supporting her. But Shelley apologizes for his mistake to Sophia, and because Shelley loved Nettie most in the world. When she comes to know that Mr. Dash was hiding her letters all these years, she gets really angry and she decides to revolt against Mr. Dash. She starts to address Mr. Dash as Albert, which was his first name, and from here we see that how Shelley, from a girl who was always been dominated and always been exploited, her journey, that how she starts to grow herself, and how who was always constantly reminded by everyone around her that she is good for nothing. She actually believes in herself, and with help of Shug Avery, she starts to explore herself and she starts to know about her abilities and explore her abilities to get where she always wanted to go. By exploring herself and her talents, she got where she had never ever thought that she will ever reach, and that's what makes the story very beautiful. Alice Walker was the first one to coin the term womanist, and she had once said that womanist is to feminist as purple is to lavender. And this book is obviously about womanism or black feminism, and this book is something which you should read. Thank you.